you. So would you like to introduce yourself to our followers?
Yeah, so I'm Tim, I'm 20 years old and I'm from Luxembourg. And currently I'm spending a semester abroad at the University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce in Bangkok. And I'm actually a gap year student, so I'm not enrolled at a university back in Europe.
So what is your educational background then?
I finished high school and then I wanted to do a gap year. Unfortunately, my initial plan for last semester didn't go that well because of COVID. But yeah, now I'm happy that I was able to come to Asia and spend my time here.
Okay, nice. So why did you choose Thailand as a study abroad destination? And have you ever been to Thailand before?
I have been to Thailand 2 times before, and I fell in love with the country and especially the city of Bangkok. And yeah, I knew that I wanted to spend my time during my gap year in Asia, and so it was the perfect fit because the COVID situation was way better here, and yeah, it all came together, and yeah.
What do you love about Bangkok the most?
It's difficult to say. The general atmosphere, I would say, it's and the diversity too. So the diversity between people, but also between tradition and modernity here. You can have a skyscraper and a street food shop and next to it, and yeah, it's just all in all great. And there's always something to do. The city never sleeps. Yeah,
I love that. Sounds great. So why did you choose Asia exchange for your semester abroad?
So as I said, I wanted to go to Asia, and before doing my gap year, I was looking about possible options, and then I found it by chance on Google, and the first thing I found were the programs in Bali, and they looked very interesting. And so then I started going to every program you offered.
So you did your research well.
Yeah, I would say so.
Great. So was it complicated, the whole application process and getting the visa, especially during COVID times? How would you describe the process to someone that wants to go abroad as well?
Of course, unfortunately, it is currently more difficult than before, but it's still manageable. So everything that had to do with Asia Exchange itself was very easy. I asked all my questions and I got helpful answers in a short time. And concerning the more visa-related stuff, it was a bit more complicated because you don't only need a visa, but also a certificate of entry and an attestation from your insurance company and some other documents too. But if you contact your local Thai embassy, they will help you. It might take some time, so yeah, reach out to them early, but then you will be fine.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for sharing this information. And how would you describe the process of then actually traveling to Thailand? So the flight and getting there.
I was so surprised because my first flight from Luxembourg to Rome was fully booked.
No way.
Yeah, it was fully booked, but there was no one at the airport. So everyone who was there probably took that flight. But then I flew from Rome to Doha in Qatar, and yeah, with a bigger plane, and the plane was completely empty, and the same from Doha to Bangkok. So yeah, actually great for me because I had more space, but I've never seen something like this before. So
Must be an interesting experience.
Yeah. And upon arrival, everything got taken care of. So I had to show some of my documents and fill out some other papers they gave me. And after that, my quarantine hotel, I chose they picked me up and brought me to the hotel, and my quarantine started.
So would you describe the whole process as organized and well taken care of, or did you feel insecure by times?
No, I would say it's well organized, but of course all the paperwork back home is a bit more complicated. But then the journey to Thailand itself was extremely easy.
Okay.
So because I was never alone, and people always explained me what I had to do, and after you leave the plane in Thailand, you are basically never alone. They take you through every step, just to your room, actually in
Awesome.
the hotel.
So who organized the whole quarantine? Did you do it by yourself, or was it with the government together? How did it work?
I don't know if there are many options. I did it by myself,
Mhm.
and actually I was mostly looking for reviews on the internet, and there were two. There was one website called Thaiest.com, which offered like overviews to every hotel, so their price range, their rooms, what if they had a balcony or not,
Mm.
what food options they had. And now I've seen they also have a filter function, so students can just choose a facility that suits their specific needs. And there are also groups on Facebook that where people can review their quarantine experience and their facility, which I also joined and which were very helpful. And
Good
of
to
course,
know.
on YouTube, there's some other stuff too. You
Mm.
might find your hotel on YouTube too.
So you just basically searched for all the information on the internet and found it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
So which website did you use to book your quarantine? Was it booking.com or any special website?
After I picked a hotel, I used their website.
Ah, of course. Okay.
Um, I heard you can also do it with booking, but here, if the hotel offers it on their website, I would recommend to do so.
Okay. And your quarantine was for how long? For 2 weeks?
Yeah, 15 days actually.
15 days. Okay.
Mm, quite
And
long.
now, almost being over with your whole semester, looking back, would you say it was all worth it? All the struggle and hustle?
No, it was definitely worth it.
Okay.
I noticed that I would say the first 3 days after being out of quarantine, um, because it felt just great, and even the quarantine wasn't. Of course, it's a bit boring, but it's still not that bad if you have some plans before, um, then it works out well.
That's actually what I hear from most of the students, that if you mentally prepare for the time in quarantine, you will be fine.
Yeah,
And I
that's
mean,
what
you
people say
do have,
afterwards.
as long as you have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about being in Thailand right now?
I actually I feel great, and unfortunately there's currently a new outbreak, so the restrictions are there are tighter restrictions right now, But still, I mean, if you take a walk in Bangkok, and for the rest, I have now so many friends here that I visit them, they visit me, so I have a lot to do during the day, and yeah, as I said, it just feels great being here.
That's a very interesting point. So even when the semester is online and you're not really going to the university, is it still easy to meet people? And how did you meet your friends?
Actually, I met my friends at university because when I got out of quarantine, things were getting better here, and we were allowed to go to the campus. And so I met most of my friends there. But it's still possible to meet them when you're studying online, because at UTCC you do a lot of group work. Doesn't matter if it's on place or online, and there you get to know people better, and yeah, they might become your friends. At least that was the case for me too. So when I was in quarantine, I already chatted with some of my peer students, and yeah, and basically you can also find friends outside of university. So there are expat groups on Facebook, so you might find people that have similar interests than you there, or there there's an app called Meetup, where you also, for example, if you like sports, you can sign up to play football with other people here. That's what I did, and I met many of my friends there too. Um, there are tons of opportunities in a city like Bangkok.
That's actually very great advice. Thank you. So you said that UTCC has a lot of group work, and how was your studying experience with UTCC in general?
Great, because it's you're not just sitting there and learning everything by heart, and just yeah, how to say, like, you're not just writing it down for your exams and
Yeah,
then forget about it. Here you work with other people. Um, you talk a lot in front of your class, also because the classes are smaller. There are less students, so you are closer to your professors too. And all in all, it feels more active, and yeah, it feels more active than what I've experienced before. And there's a lot of interaction between students, but also between students and teachers.
sounds very good. I totally get what you mean when you say that it's more active and also more interactive than only sitting in class and listening and then learning for the exam and getting it all out and then it's gone already, right?
It's different, but I prefer this way.
Awesome. The class you went to, were there international people, so from all over the world? Were you mostly with people from your country or from German-speaking countries? How was it? How diverse are the classes?
The classes are very diverse. Currently, there aren't many European students there, probably also because of COVID.
Yeah.
But still, you have people from, of course, from Thailand, but then you have Chinese people, Japanese people, people from Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos, and Vietnam. And I personally, I spend a lot of time with French students who are also there with Asia Exchange. But then I also met, for example, a German guy who is studying there full time, and through him, I also met some other people too, and there were also people reaching out to me. For example, I now know a lot of Cambodian students because I got on well with them from the start, and through them I also met other German people. So
Wow.
it's quite international.
That sounds like the perfect international experience.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's great. It's great.
Okay, so now talking a little bit more about your experience in Thailand. Did you have the opportunity to travel through Thailand during your semester?
Yes, I did. I haven't done everything that I planned before,
Mm-hmm.
but still I saw many places in the north and in the south of Thailand, and yes, traveling here is actually quite easy because the flights are cheap, the buses and the trains are cheap too, and it's easy to book an accommodation via Airbnb. So basically, we often planned our trips one day before, and things went well. So
Wow. So you can be very spontaneous. That's good.
yeah, definitely.
But you said that you didn't see everything you planned to. Would you say that your semester was very different from what you expected? And was it better or less good?
I would say there are advantages and disadvantages. So of course, the city is not calm, but it's less.
Bustling?
It's a bit calmer than before, but I would never describe Bangkok as calm
Oh.
in general. So of course, I didn't go out as I'm sorry. I didn't go out as much as I wanted. Because of the restrictions and because there are less people out there in general. But at the other hand, there's less traffic, which is also a very, very good point for Bangkok. And it's a very difficult question, to be honest, because I think everyone has to see for himself. For me personally, I would have maybe preferred to go out more, but I know that at the same time I would be annoyed by more traffic and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I see that it's a very difficult
I
question.
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. It's a very theoretical question,
Yeah,
but I think your answer was quite
exactly.
interesting, and your
Yeah.
perspective on that, that's very interesting to hear.
What I can say is that that I don't regret my semester here.
That's so good to hear. Okay, so now the very last question. If you had one piece of advice that you could give to someone that wants to go abroad, or maybe even to Thailand for studying, what would you say to them?
If it has to be one, I would say don't let your doubts stop you. Because I want to make sure that they are coming. So yeah, that's
Thank you so much.
was a pleasure.
Okay.